everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to give you guys my, well, not so much ratings, but my post-season thoughts of the F1 2023 season. Now I'm going to do this in a few categories. I'm going to give you guys who I think was the best driver this season, who was the best team this year, who was the best team principal, and I might give you some negative ones as well, like my worst driver of the season, my biggest disappointing team of the season, and the worst team principal. Well, that's going to be pretty hard to do, because they've all been pretty good this year. Anyway, starting off with my driver of the year. And, well, let's be honest here. We all know who this has to go to, because they've won almost everything, and that is the reigning world champion, Max Verstappen. Now, let's face it, Max has been on a whole nother level this year. He has been insanely unbeatable for most of the season. Of course, he has been beaten a couple of times by his teammates Sergio Perez, Carlos Sainz and Oscar Piastri, but for the most part, no one has been able to touch him. So, undoubtedly for me, driver of the year does have to go to Max Verstappen, although an argument could be made for Lando Norris, as he has pulled out some stellar results as well. So, but for me, my driver of the year, probably going to have to be Max Verstappen. Now, team of the year. Again, no surprise, because, what the hell? Red Bull. Again, aside from the Singapore race and the Qatar sprint, they haven't been beaten this year. They have won everything between Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen, so again, Red Bull have been on a completely different level this season. Will they be challenged in 2024? Maybe, hopefully, because that'll make it a much more interesting season. But if this season's anything to go by, God help the grid next year. But yeah, team of the year for me is going to have to go to Red Bull, because they've just been on a whole different level, frankly, much like Max. Now, team principal of the year. If you guys have been watching any of my F1 streams, you'll know this already. But my team principal of the year, without a shadow of a doubt, has to go to one of the newest team principals on the grid, because yes, there have been a couple this year, but it has to go to none other than the team principal of Williams, only the third in that team's history, James Vowles. Of course, he came from Mercedes last year as head of strategy to the top job at Williams, replacing Jos Capito, and oh my god, he has done a stellar job. Like, seriously, he has been amazing. Because let's not forget that last year, that team finished dead last in the Constructors, and I think both of their drivers finished bottom two in the drivers as well. However, this year, although I don't know this yet because the final race hasn't happened at the time of recording, they are aiming for 7th in the Constructors. They may have gotten 8th due to AlphaTauri overtaking them, but I'm not sure yet. But at the moment, they're currently in 7th. That sort of a jump should have taken at least maybe 2 seasons, but no. Because of James Vowles' leadership, they've managed to do it in 1. And I've got to say, that is immensely impressive. And let's not forget that only a few weeks ago, James Vowles' wife had another child. So throughout this season, he has been managing a Formula 1 team and waiting on the birth of his child. That is some multitasking. So, without a shadow of a doubt for me, James Vowles, team principal of the year. Now, for the negative side, my most disappointing driver of the season. Gonna have to go to Nico Hülkenberg. Started out really strong, right? Started out really, really well. And then, admittedly very quickly, he kind of fell apart. I don't know where it went wrong, although again, a argument could be made as well for Sergio Perez due to that massive drop mid-season that he's only just really recovered from the last few races. But yeah, Nico Hülkenberg for me started out really strong and then just kind of tanked. But again, Sergio Perez could also take this one because he took a hell of a lot of losses to Max Verstappen throughout the season. But yeah, I'd say most disappointing driver probably Nico Hülkenberg or Sergio Perez. Now, most disappointing team is going to surprise a lot of people because they may have just won second in the Constructors, they might not have, again, I don't know. But it's going to be Ferrari. Due to the very simple reason of how much their performance has completely tanked compared to last year's car. Like, their car last year was quite convincingly second fastest car and could have been and could have been the fastest, if not for Max Verstappen in last year's Red Bull. But this year, I don't know what's happened to the car, but the Ferrari has just disappeared. It's not even close to what last year's car was like, so in all honesty, even though they might have just won second, most disappointing team is definitely Ferrari. Now, worst team principal of the year, I'm going to have to give it, unfortunately, to Gunther Steiner. Now, I know we all love him, he is absolutely hilarious, but in his years as team principal, he has made a lot of very not so good decisions. Like, yeah, he's obviously hired in 2021 two rookies, which didn't end very well for him. He, last year, did probably one of his most solid lineups in bringing in, well, keeping Mick Schumacher and bringing back Kevin Magnussen, and then this year, kept Kevin Magnussen, which was honestly a pretty good call, but brought in Nico Hülkenberg that has made more comebacks to F1 than I can count. So, yeah, I'm not so sure that Gunther's the right man for the job, considering that every year Haas has been in F1, they've kept getting worse. They started out in 2016, 5th in the Constructors, and year by year they've just kept going down. So, I'm not sure how many more seasons Gunther Steiner has left before he is unfortunately fired. Again, I know this is going to be a lot sad for a lot of people, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate over this, but in terms of him being an actual team principal, in my opinion, Gunther Steiner is just not that good. I can't say I've supported many of his decisions over the years. So yeah, for me, worst team principal of the year is probably going to be Gunther Steiner, as much as I hate to say it, because he is an amazing person to watch on Drive to Survive. But in terms of being a team principal, no, just not that good. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for my kind of post-season roundup for the 2023 F1 season. So please, like the vid, sub to mine Roxo's channels, her link's in the description, my button is down there, please click those and then the bell icons to get our notifications, comment as well, because why not, let me know what your opinions are on all the categories I've just mentioned. Once you know that too, please follow me on my social medias, they'll be in the link tree in the description below that, will be Roxanne's website, and lastly, please do share this video with all your friends so they can join the infinite loop of liking, subscribing, commenting, following, and sharing, and around and around and around that loop. I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. Goodbye!